Hi guys, thank you so much for being here, and I really do hope you're doing well. Everyday Carry, or EDC, is an acronym that's become widely known within the outdoors and survivalist subculture. Essentially, an everyday carry item is an item that you always carry with you that can help you in your everyday life, and especially in an emergency. One of the most useful everyday carry items is a knife. However, here in the UK, knives are regulated quite strongly in public places, and you can only have knives of a certain length, and they must follow certain criteria, such as being a folding knife. The Victorinox Spartan has a large blade of 6.8 centimetres, which does fit within the UK guidelines for having on your possession in a public place. And the fact that it also folds means that it also conforms to carrying with you at all times, regarding UK legislation only, obviously. Having a blade with you isn't the only reason to carry the Spartan, though. This little Swiss Army knife has 12 hidden functions that are going to help you in your everyday life and when you're outdoors in nature. Okay, let me talk you through the features of the Victorinox Spartan. First of all, we have the large knife, 6.8 centimetres. It's very useful for numerous different things and a great size. On the opposite side, we have the small knife, great for precision tasks or just smaller tasks in general. On the reverse, we have the corkscrew positioned centrally, again to give you a better grip when removing a cork from a bottle. Also very comfortable scales on here, made of plastic and softly rounded. On the opposite side, we have a can opener. The can opener has a small screwdriver, a 3mm screwdriver at this end. Very useful as well. Opposite to that, there is the bottle opener, or cap opener as it's called, and a larger at the tip, 5mm screwdriver. A bit further down here, we have the wire strippers. If, for whatever reason, you're driving the screw and you need it to be on a different angle or you can't quite get in, this has a nice feature of locking, not just at the 180 degree position from when it's closed, but also at the 90 degree position, so that you can again just get more torque, more grip, get a different angle on what you need to screw. On the other side here, we have the Reamer, if I can get it open, there we go. The Reamer, which is also a punch and sewing awl. It's very, very sharp. That will go through some of the toughest material. If you need to punch a hole in the belt, that's no problem whatsoever. Again, centrally positioned so you can get a good, nice grip before you punch through whatever you need to punch through. Up here, we have on both sides two little dibs. They're hardly noticeable, but they are small ends of two devices. We've got tweezers there, and very good tweezers, may I add. I've had worse tweezers in travel kits that just don't pull out hairs. These are very, very, very good. Let me bring them just a bit closer. Very, very precise. Again, they just slide back into the little recess at the top of the Spartan. On this side, very much the same, except it is a toothpick. Essentially, small pointy stick. And the final thing to mention is here we have a keyring, and quite an ample, sturdy keyring too. Again, you can attach that to your person, attach it to a carabiner to hold on your belt. Many different attachment options with that keyring loop. Of course, knives have a lot of outdoor applications, such as processing wood, preparing meals, cutting materials, etc. If you are processing wood, don't be tempted to baton with a folding knife, as it tends to destroy the joint. Maybe not at first, but definitely over time. The Reamer is especially good at punching holes through strong materials, and it's also really good for sewing materials together. The can opener is perfect for those wanting to take canned food out into the wilderness, as is the bottle opener for those who want to quench their thirst, if you catch my drift. Of course, the obvious use for the tweezers is to remove things like splinters that you may get trapped in your skin. also very good if you get stung and the sting is still in you. You want to be able to take that out, and it enables you and affords you a little extra fine dexterity. The toothpick. Now, I know what you're thinking. You don't want to be out in the wild, so cleaning your teeth. You could do that with the toothpick, but where the toothpick comes into its own for me is when you need a small pointy stick. And trust me, you need a small pointy stick more than you may realise. It could be to do a little something, to knock something out of something. It comes in extremely handy for a multitude of different things. So it's just one of those every use items that you're going to just, when you realise I've got a small stick with me, you will use it more and more and more. The screwdrivers and the wire strippers, yes, they can be used to fix equipment when you're out in the wild, but they really do come into their own in the urban, everyday environment. That leaves the corkscrew. The corkscrew is there. I mean, you have to be a pretty hardcore wine addict to want to take your corkscrew out into the wilderness and use it as a corkscrew. No worries if you want to do that, but there are other ways to use it. Now, one of the ways that people recommend using this that I've heard is to take the corkscrew, let me just get the knife, is to take the corkscrew and screw it into a tree so that essentially it is screwed into the tree like this, and it stays up kind of like that, and then you can hang things from it, like hang a coat, tie something to it. I don't particularly like this, and the reason I don't like this is that when that is stuck into the tree, you can't use any of the other functions of the knife, and that's what makes this kind of utility device, this everyday carry device, so great, is that it can do multiple functions. When that is a coat hanger, for example, in a tree, it's not doing anything else. You lose all of the functionality. The other downside to putting it into a tree is that if you need to remove this, if you need that knife in an emergency situation, if you need some of the other features in an emergency situation, you have to unscrew it from the tree. That is time consuming. You're not just going to be able to pull it out of the tree. Let me tell you a great way to use this though. Instead, the corkscrew can be used to carry heavier loads by tying up those loads, placing a simple knot in the cordage, and then winding that cordage around the corkscrew. The central position of the corkscrew and the comfortable scales will make carrying items a great deal more comfortable, especially if they're bulky and hard to carry. For me, the Victorinox Spartan is a great everyday carry item. You will be shocked just at how frequently you use it in your everyday life when you're outdoors. When you start carrying it with you, you start to realise the possibilities, and you'll just start to wonder, how did I live without this before? Don't fall for the trap of buying cheap. I've had Swiss Army knives in the past, and I've bought the cheap ones. You know, you go down to a market, you see them, you think, that's a great bargain. You pick it up, it's not the genuine item, and they break on you. I've had so many Swiss Army knives break on me, and not through sort of hard use, just through regular use and poor quality materials. The great thing about the Victorinox Spartan is that it's the original Swiss Army knife. Since 1884 they've been made, so you know that the quality is there, and it's really evident when you use one of these compared to a cheaper model. The Victorinox Spartan, ready to help you whenever and wherever you are. Guys, what are your experiences with Swiss Army knives, and do you have any great tips to share? Let me know in that comment section down there. Until the next video, take care, bye-bye now. Buy this and more at meanandgreen.com.